Begin by what is positive that has come out of the demonstrations and the demonstrations by our young people, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, let me congratulate the Gen Zs, the millennials, and all the young people who are involved in the demonstrations. Congratulate them because they showed us that it is possible to have a tribeless Kenya. They have shown us that it is possible to have a partyless country. They have shown us that they can unite beyond creed and beyond religion. Madam Speaker, they have actually shown us that we can come out, and these are some of the things that we never thought possible, Madam Speaker. The cancer of tribalism that has affected this country almost took us to civil strife in 2007 and 2008 in the post-election violence, Madam Speaker. And so when these young Kenyans showed us that they can come together for a common cause, Madam Speaker, a unity of purpose, Madam Speaker, let me say as a mother of those young people, I am very proud of them, Madam Speaker. Although they paid the price, Madam Speaker, and we mourn today our young people who lost lives where they should not have lost lives, Madam Speaker. We have become brutal even to our own children, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, let me offer an apology on behalf of all the other leaders, Madam Speaker, who may not enjoy this kind of platform, Madam Speaker. Apologize to the demonstrators and to the families of those who lost their loved ones, Madam Speaker. They were treated in a inhuman manner. They were handled badly, Madam Speaker, and this House must lead in trying to check the excesses of the police, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, no, the good thing is all Kenyans are watching this House today, and those Gen Zs and millennials and the young people are watching, Madam Speaker. In fact, when this debate was going on, Madam Speaker, one of them forwarded to me a list of their demands. And I want to read it, Madam Speaker. They said, it's deeper and bigger. And they said, you know, you guys are saying a lot of things. And said, let me give you in summary. Pay all the doctors. Hire the medical interns. Pay the teachers. Fund the schools. Cut public expenditure. Fire all corrupt civil servants. Bring back Linda Mama. Reform the NHIF. Recover all stolen money. Remove unconstitutional offices. Jenga inji, usibomoe. Madam Speaker, I wanted first at least to make sure I have delivered that one before I put it in my own words, Madam Speaker, because I think they capture better what they wanted, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, it's a Damascus moment in our country. It's a moment for us to restore our country, the dignity of our systems, make sure that systems are working, and Madam Speaker, that each one of us is accountable. Madam Speaker, these young people actually did speak for us things that we should have been speaking in the two houses, but we did not. The issues of public debt, the issue of reconstituting IEBC. Actually, we have more interest in reconstituting of IEBC than the demonstrators. Because we know when our position falls vacant, whatever, by whatever, even natural causes, Madam Speaker, there is a way for a member of parliament to be replaced or whatever, and it must be through IEBC, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, these young people said remove the punitive taxes, remove the budgeted corruption and wastage. And Madam Speaker, I thank the President for turning down on the finance bill, Madam Speaker. But the finance bill was just a trigger. The issue is the unemployment, desperation that is out there, the unbearable taxation, Madam Speaker. These are the real issues that are affecting us today, Madam Speaker. People are demanding our faithfulness to the law. We must pause and think and act in a way that is acceptable in the eyes of Kenyans, in the eyes of the law. Madam Speaker, I just wanted also to use this platform to ask my President some questions, Madam Speaker. No, when I watched the President in that debate, the interview with the media houses, Madam Speaker, I was sad. I wanted to ask the President, why has he allowed himself to become the sacrificial lamb of his friends, of public servants who are living large and living in opulence, Madam Speaker? Why has he allowed himself? Why has he today, Madam Speaker, if I may use an example, and it's not I have even seen it trending on Twitter, Madam Speaker. When Senator Sifuna was speaking, Madam Speaker, they said in Kajiado, every weekend, one public servant, right under the President, is spending 20 million per weekend. One public servant, Madam Speaker. And of course, you can tell that money did not come from the sale of his cows. That money did not come from his payslip. Every government appointment today in Kajiado, in the entire Masai Land, when it happens, oh, congratulations, to one individual. What happened to Public Service Commission that should be interviewing and employing on merit? Madam Speaker, that one single individual will alienate the President from a whole county. The rest feel that they don't belong. So they must now worship one small individual because of the office he's holding, Madam Speaker. But 2027 is coming, Madam Speaker. All of us, that's the time of reckoning. That's the time we are all going to answer. Madam Speaker, Madam Speaker, we need to rein on the commissions, independent commissions, like the National Cohesion, and make sure that Kenyans get equal opportunities, Madam Speaker. We need to ensure that electoral reforms are there, Madam Speaker. And as a House, we legislate on matters devolution, Madam Speaker, and make sure that our counties receive their fair share, Madam Speaker. And Madam Speaker, allow me to deviate maybe from what has been the talk of a number of members here today, that CDF should go. Madam Speaker, I know the importance of CDF at the grassroots. And so, Madam Speaker, I will not advocate for CDF to go, but I will say that we enhance the oversight function of all the houses, the Senate, the National Assembly, and the county assemblies, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, EACC should reign over our counties because of the mismanagement of resources at the county levels, Madam Speaker. And so as we clean up at the national level, let us also make sure we clean up at the county levels, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, you know, of late, there is the 20 million weekend financial signature. You know, there are those now who are known to belong to that club of the 20 million per weekend. And they are known members of parliament, public servants, Madam Speaker, and they are the ones giving the Kenya Kwanza government a bad image. And we should not allow them to take us down, because when Kenya Kwanza goes down, it will go with a lot of us, Madam Speaker. We will not allow. And so, Madam Speaker, to conclude, let me say that it is important that we meet the demands of the Gen Zs, the millennials, and all the young demonstrators, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, those trigger-happy police should be brought to book, Madam Speaker. They must pay for every bullet that they shot to our children, Madam Speaker. Even as we sympathize with the police and their living conditions and their working environment, Madam Speaker, but still, for every life they took with a bullet, they must answer for it, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, let us all work to bring the cost of living down. Let us have the GSS teachers. And Madam Speaker, before you, because I can see you're looking at me and maybe the time is heading to conclusion, let me join all the members by saying it was ill-informed for the Salary Commission to talk about a salary increment right now. It was ill-informed. We don't accept it, so that if they were going to use these houses of parliament as a scapegoat, then they don't get it. And the president should also ask himself, why some commissions, like the Salary Commission and the Public Service, would come out now, at this moment, when the country is burning, to announce salary increments, or to announce gazettement of the CAS position. They don't mean well for this country, and they don't even mean well for the presidency. I think these are the people that need to go home. The Salary Commission should operate only once a year, because that is when they do salary reviews, only once a year. And they go home. And that those finances should be used elsewhere, Madam Speaker.